Today we have an old MacBook, white one. Let's see if we can fix it. This is 150 Days of Winter. You get this view. It's been an incredible day. Thank you all for everybody. Customer went and bought in this old white MacBook. I would love these old things. These were they're still classed as unibody. I mean, they were bought out at the same time as the first unibody metal ones. These were in white. I also, from another project, which of course, as you can see, hasn't been done, of course, black one. But anyway, back when Apple used to make multicolored MacBooks. Anyway, client, basically, laptop was left for ages. Last thing that he said was, and it's been repaired many times, I think it's led a long and distinguished life, but basically he said the last time he used it, he used it only on the battery and it wouldn't charge. And of course, in my experience, and I've got something, an old broken one, basically it's just a matter of changing the Magsafe connector, but we shall see. And luckily these are super easy to get into and work on. As always, to show you how easy it is, we will start our stopwatch. As I said before, this has been taken apart a couple of times, and I was going to say the screws are, I believe they are just normal Phillips screws. And there we go. I want to go and dismantle it to remove the motherboard. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to go and basically remove the battery first. And to do that, basically there are 3 tri-lobes here and 3 normal screws at the bottom here. Again, to take the motherboard out, you don't need to do this. However, just to give me a bit more access, I prefer to do that. So we're going to go and just go and remove these. And at the same time, go and find a tri-lobe to get rid of 1, 2, and this guy hiding under there. And we can now lift out that. Okay, so there are a bunch of connectors and a bunch of, we also, sorry, before jumping ahead of myself, okay, so we need to go back to the Phillips and we need to remove this plastic bracket that is just here. And there are two Phillips just there. There's one Phillips over the side here. And then there are 4 T10s. I think we should just go and see. Yeah, there are a couple of T10s. Of course, there's me missing one final Phillips that, of course, is just there. 3 minutes already. Okay, and so we can now remove this bracket that's there. And now, I believe, we just need a edge of a spudger to get rid of some of the, open up some of these connectors, or finger we go and do that. We're going to go remove this guy. There are some little connectors here, 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 and here. And then there are a couple of, actually saying that while I still have my screwdriver out, there are 3 battery screws here, here, and there. This connector first, taking off the fan. Then we have this guy just there. We have this guy just there. We have this guy just there. We have the keyboard to unplug, which is just there. And we have these 2 guys just around there. And one more. This little guy just there. He pops off. Of course, we have the monitor, which comes off there, and it now gives us access to the 2 screws there. But we need to move back to a T. I think I'm going to say about T5. Let us just see. Yep. Where else? And we just have 2 ones holding in the Magsafe connector, and we should, oh sorry, there is one more. There we go. Always catches me by surprise, this one, always hiding there. And now, holding back everything, we should be able to easily remove the motherboard. 7 minutes in. So all we now need to do is to pop off the old Magsafe connector, which is there. I just wiggle him out of that. And I'm going to find the new one, which is there. And of course we can now start to put him back together. So we now do everything that we just did in reverse. Hardest bit, of course, is making sure all the those connectors are out of place. And come on. There we go. Of course, I said 10 minutes. Kiss of death, of course, but shaky old hands and making sure it's done right. We can now go and put the up. Of course, we need to reconnect the screen. And so there we are. We have got everything buttoned up. Now just a matter to do a test. I'm going to stop this for a second. Boop. 16 minutes. I'm going to go and right, back again. Sorry for the slight loss of light. So let us go and see if we get a green light. We get a green light, which shows us the charging port is working, which is excellent. However, that is not the end of it. Basically, the owner of this asked me if I got it to work, which it is. From from looking at that. Basically, to upgrade the hard drive and the RAM, it at the moment has 2 gigs of RAM, and it has an old hard drive in it, which must make this really slow. Anyway, that's the easy bit. So now I'm going to go and going to get rid of that bracket, and we should be able to remove this guy, which has a weird connector on it. We should also be able to now, initially when these came out, you could only run, I think 4 gigs of RAM was the absolute maximum. However, with future versions of the operating system, this was expanded greatly. I'm also installing a crucial SSD. In these ones, there's a little rubber bushing that holds, I presume they put rubber to in some way stop this from like getting any vibrations. Of course, with an SSD, you don't really need that, although you do to keep it snug. One final note when you're putting this all back together, and of course I just found this out, that this cable on the battery sometimes, and it has here, basically it hits on the when you reinstall the battery into there, it pulls the keyboard cable out. It pulls it out just enough that you don't realize that it has pulled it out. So before you put the battery if you go and just make sure with a spudger that the keyboard cable is tucked nicely out the way so that it doesn't pull it out. So that is all done, and we are ready to do the boring and tedious business of doing a reinstall and then transferring everything across from whatever's on here to there. But you will be able to see it, right? So about 2.5 hours later, we have a machine running perfectly, high Sierra. I got it wrong. Originally I said it 2008. This is actually a 2010 model. It's now got 8 gigs of RAM instead of 2. And the boot up time is a completely different scale than what it was before. This has been resurrected, which hopefully will give a few more years of service, so to speak. Anyway, as always, if you found this enjoyable, subscribe button, like button, leave a comment down below, and I will see you all in the next video. Ciao.